Hello everyone. This video is specially to give the kids an introduction about coding. If you look in Facebook, you will see a lot of advertisement by different companies about coding for kids. So a fundamental question comes in, at what age kids should learn coding? Right? So my answer is there is no such age. If they are able to understand, we are good to go. But the challenge is when you attend a demo class, you may not be able to make it so clear the kid is going to continue with the coding because their interest keep on changing. So from my personal experience, what I could make out is, as a parent, if you spend some time, it will be easy for you to teach the kids about coding. So with the help of code.org, which is completely free, there are excellent project and training videos, which a kid of more than 6 years will be easily able to follow and understand. So I'm trying to give a small demo on the same. So I hope this will help parents to watch it and understand and show this to the kid and give them a beginning to the coding world. And if they are able to explore more, you may think of admitting them to a serious coding class. With that being said, let's get started. I'll just give a demonstration about a simple coding program to give some basic concepts of object-oriented programming, which is called OOPS. So let me share my screen. So first thing what you need to do is you need to go to code, C-O-D-E, code.org and sign up. So you can give the kids details, but please make sure the age is marked a little bit higher, because if the age is like 6 years or 7 years, you may not be able to use all the features. Or as a parent, you can create a profile. So I already have a profile, so that is where I'm logged in. So that is a self-explanatory steps. I'm not going to showcase how you can sign in. You can use your Google account to sign in as well. So once you sign in, this is what your dashboard shows. So on the left-hand side, you can see an option like create, right? So you have multiple options. So I'm going to App Lab to create my first program. So I clicked on App Lab. So I get a screen. This screen has 3 main sections. On the left-hand side, you can see a place where you can design your program. And here you have a toolbox, and you have right-hand side, you have a workspace. So on the left-hand side, let's have a look at the left-hand side, which is showing like a mobile, right? So whatever program you are going to do here, you can even export this to your mobile. So we are going to do our first program. So here, what you see here is a screen 1. You can see here a screen 1. So screen 1, let us consider it as an object, right? So screen 1, like a policeman or a book. A book is an object. So a book has a front page or a cover page. It has its contents. Like that, the screen 1 has a lot of properties. So for this screen 1, one property is its background color. So in our first program, what we are going to do is, for this object, which is the object? Screen 1. For this object, we are going to change the property of this object. So how to do that in our first program? It is very simple. That is what we are going to do here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the background color of my object screen1. To do that, I already told this is a property, right? So you have a lot of user interface control functions here. So you will scroll down and you are going to use a function called set property because you want to set property. So you'll just drag that function here. So what is the use of this function? Function is, let's consider function as a service, right? You want to wash your car. What you will do? You will go to a service station, give your car as input, and they will wash the car and give you back. So it is a service, right? Like that, I would say set property is a function. You need to give what you want to change. So here, set property is to set the property of our object. I repeat, what was our object? Screen1, right? So I'm going to change screen1. So set property of what? Screen1. Now let us see what all properties we can change here. You can see here width. If you want to change the width, you can set that. But as we explained, we want to set the background color, right? So I selected background color as the property. And what color you want to set? There are some colors already available. So let's say I want to set it as blue. So I repeat, I went to create. I created an AppLab program. I got my first screen, and the screen1 is my object. I want to set the properties of the object. So to set the properties of the object, I called a function. I just dragged a function like this from left-hand side. I have set property function. So I dragged that function to the workspace. Now, whose property you want to set? So each object has an ID. Like we all have our names or phone number, right? Like that, our object name is screen1. So the ID is screen1. So I selected screen1. Now I want to change the background color of screen1 to what color? Blue. Now we are done. So we completed our first program. Now let us try to run this program. So when I click on run, you can see the background color of my screen1 is changed to blue. So it's a simple program, right? So you used set property function to set the property of your object. What object is, how many objects are there? Only one object. What is the object name? Screen1. What property you are going to change? Background color. What color you want to set? Blue. Now let's say you want to change to red. So let us change our code. You want to change it to red. Okay, done. Now you reset and run the program again. Now it is changed to run. So once this program is done, right? We just did our first simple program. Once it is done, what we will do is we will rename this and you will give a name to your program. So you will name it as like background 1 or a background, yes. Now you will click on save. So we completed our first program, right? To change, so anyone runs this program, their background color will change to red. Now, once this is done, how you can share it with your friends or family members? You have an option here called share. So you can publish this, right? You have an option to publish. It will ask you, are you sure? Yes, let's publish our program. And I'll go to share again, and you have a URL here. You can copy this URL and you can send it as a WhatsApp to your relatives or friends or anyone. When they open it, they will see their background color of the font is changing to red. A very simple program. I just wanted to give you an introduction. Now let us use one more built-in function. We have a lot of functions here. For example, there is a function called play sound, right? So this is again a built-in function. So I want to select a sound. You have option to choose. You have animal sounds, bell sounds, whatever you want to, right? So I'm just selecting a sound here, and you have an option like true or false. If you select on true, this sound will be repeated endlessly. False means just one time. Now let us try to run our program. So when you run the program, you can hear this default bell sound. Okay, so almost all the functions are self-explanatory. So let us move this function back. So let us concentrate on this. So set property of screen 1 background color to red. Now let us create another program, right? Now we know the background color is changed to red. How can I change it back to blue or to red or to yellow or to green? Every time you have to go here and change, right? What if I need to change it according to my wish in my program itself? I mean to say I have 4 buttons, right? The first button name is red, second button name is blue, third button name is yellow, fourth button name is red. When I click that button, I want to change the background. Now, without doing any click or anything, by default, the background color is changing, right? Now, I want this to happen after an event, right? When the click event happens, I want to change. That also, when I click on blue button, the blue color should come. When I click on red button, the red button should come. So let us try to create that kind of a program. So I'll go to create App Labs for my second program. So it's loading again. We got our default screen. So here you can see 3 buttons: code, design, and data. So I'll go to design because we want to have a specific design for our program. As I told, I need 3 buttons. So I dragged first button here. Now, when you drag, you need to have an ID created because there will be a lot of objects. How will you differentiate? How will you identify your buttons? So every button should have an ID, like all of you have your names, right? So I'm calling it as red button, right? I named the ID as red. And what should be the display here? Text. I say click for red. Right? So you can make it bigger, smaller, whatever you want. So I created a button ID is red button. I put a text stating click for red. Now I want one more button. I will add one more button here. So you can see here the by default ID came as button 2. So I'm using it as blue button. Right? And I'm making a text click for blue, right? Now I'm adding one more button, and you can change the width, everything according to your size. So according to your wish. So this button 3, you can say green button. Green button is the ID, and I'm telling click for green. So let us review this once again. So on this screen 1, you see 4 objects now. The first object is obviously screen 1. Second object is red button, and its ID is red button. Text is click for text. You can change the width, height, X position, Y position, even the text color, everything you can change on the button itself. Click for blue. So second button, the ID is blue button. Click for blue, everything you set. The third button, you selected it as, named it as green button. Text is click for green. Okay. Now, let us try to run this. So I get an opportunity to click these buttons, but nothing happens. Why nothing happens? Because you did not write any code, right? So now we are going to code it. So we were in design, we will click on code. Now, when you want to get the background as red, when this button is clicked. So I told you it should happen only after an event, right? So you have a function called on event. You see here, on event means when an event happens. For example, if someone beeps, right, you cry. If someone tickle, you laugh. So that tickle should happen, then only you will laugh, right? So that event should happen, then only the triggered function will be executed. So what is the event going to happen? So I'm going to tell on event of on which object. I'm telling blue button. This means if someone is hitting blue button, which event? Click event. So when someone is clicking on blue button, click event, what function you want to do? I'm telling if this is happening, I want to set the background, right? So I'm calling that function set property, the same set property which we used in our previous example. So I'm telling set property of my entire screen, screen 1, background color as, this is blue button, right? So let us set it as blue. So we will set it as blue. So what is the meaning of this function? Let us have a look at it once again. I'm telling on event. On event means when the event happens. On event happens on which object? Blue button. Which event has to happen? Click event. What should happen? That function should be calling. Which function is being invoked? Whatever you write in between this. So what is written here? You are setting the property of your entire screen background to blue. Yeah, blue button, blue. Now let us run and see. So nothing happened, but when you click on blue, the background color is changed to blue. Let's click on red, nothing happens. Let's click on green, nothing happens. Why? Because you did not write that code. So we need one more on event, right? So I'm adding next on event. I'm telling on event, which button? Green button, click. I want to set the property once again. So I will call the set property of my, which is the ID? We need to set the property of screen 1, right? Background color to which color? To green color. Now let's reset and run. Now when I click on blue, this first function is invoked, that is changing the background color to blue. When I click on green, the second function is invoked and it is changing to green. Let me click on blue, it is coming to blue, click on green. So how much ever time you click like this, it will change. How about red? It's not changing. Why? Because you did not write the code. So let us finish it by writing the final code. So I'm telling on event, which ID? Red button, click. Which function should come? We need to set the background, right? So I'm telling set background. Where is set background? Sorry, set property, right? Set property. Set property of what? Screen 1 to background color to which color? Red color, right? Because this is red button. Now let us reset and run. Now when I click for red, I'm getting red color. When I click for blue, I'm getting blue color. When I click for green, I'm getting green color. So this is with some user control, or I would call this as an interactive program, because it listens to your input. Whichever button you click, accordingly, the subsequent function is invoked, and this function is helping you to set the background color. So how many objects you have in this program? 4 objects. Screen 1, red button, blue button, and green button, right? So how these functions are invoked? That is why we are calling a special function called on event. When the on event will be invoked, when that particular event happens. What is the event happening on the first case? Click event. On which object? Blue button. So what function is being invoked? Set property. Set property of button? No, set property of screen. Can you set the property of button? Yes. Instead of screen 1, if you select the button itself, it will change the background of only blue button. Let us do that in the first case, blue button. Now I changed set property of blue button background to blue. Now let us reset and run. So when I click on red, it is fine. When I click on green, it is fine. When I click on blue, it did not change the background, but it changed the background of that button itself. Why it happened like that? Because you set property of blue button background to blue. If you want the screen, you have to select screen. So my intention was to demonstrate how simple it is. Everything is self-explanatory, and if you point to any function, you will see examples as well. So using that, you can easily teach your kid how to use simple functions, and it will be, more interesting. Now, one more thing I just wanted to tell you is here you have an option like show text. So if I click on show text, the entire program will come like a code, right? So the earlier one was like, you can switch back to show blocks. So for kids, initially, this block-wise method will be easier. But for you, if you have some programming basic, if you want to see the program, you can click on show text, so it can come here. So this was our untitled project. You can rename it like background 2 or click for background, whatever names. So let us give a name, click for background BG, right? And you save your project. If you want to share, click on share, and you have an option to copy this code, or you can even send this to your phone also. So whoever has this code, you can copy and send it through WhatsApp. When they open it, they will see a screen. The first screen, how it looks when we run it. And when they click on red, the background color of their mobile phone will change to red. When they click on blue, the background color will change to blue. Okay. And one more option is you have an option like send to phone. So you have a QR code coming in. So I'll just show you. You have to open camera of your mobile, and you need to scan that code, right? So once you scan the code, it will come. It will come in your screen. Now, when you click, for example, when I clicked, the background is changed to red. When I clicked blue, the background is changed to blue. When I clicked green, the background is changing to green. You can see this, right? So you have developed a code which your friends can use to change the background. Like this, you can develop hundreds of programs and share it, and even you can publish it to App Store from where people can download it. So I hope this was interesting. I'll come up with more videos. So I encourage kids to practice this. You can go to code.org, and there are a lot of programs, videos, self-explanatory videos for kids who want to explore more. And you have dance parties there, you have games to create, a lot of things are there. Thank you for watching. I'll come up with the next video with another topic. Thank you. Thank you for watching this. So please encourage your kid to go to code.org and explore the options of coding before you join them to any expensive course which will take your 75K or 80K. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.